Hey everyone, happy rainy Thursday to you. It's rainy and dreary here where I am. So, like every time, I struggle a little bit with why am I making these videos and does it make any difference and why should I be doing them? I don't know. But my initial inspiration was that it will keep me motivated to keep my goals for 2019. And so that's why I'm doing them, and hopefully, maybe I can give some helpful tips to a few of you, or um, maybe inspire you guys, somebody to um, Im- strive to be improving yourself and that type of thing. So last time I talked a little bit about how powerful our thoughts are and the importance of having like a thankful attitude, a positive outlook, and that kind of thing. So I was thinking a lot about that lately and just how much it changes your whole outlook. And my husband was talking about somebody that has a positive outlook, and they're refreshing to be around, and they're inspiring to be around. And yeah, I heard somebody speak once about how when you're with someone, do you leave them inspired and refreshed, or do they leave feeling drained and negative or whatever? So that was challenging to me. I would tend to be a pessimist, I'm not going to lie, or a realist, as we pessimists like to say. So it's somewhere I can improve a lot in, and especially with children. Like, I notice how much my attitude just sets the tone for the whole day. And if I'm having a bad attitude, they have bad attitudes, and it just snowballs either way. If you're positive and cheerful, they're positive, cheerful, they want to be helpful and obedient. If I'm naggy and whiny and that kind of thing, they tend to be naggy and whiny as well. So it's like a multiplied effect with children. So I'm working on that. I think, never mind, that's a bunny trail. So yeah, I've been thinking about that, and I want to challenge you to be challenged in that area as well. I talked about how it can affect, it can actually cause us to be depressed, having a negative outlook in life, and how focusing on God and thankfulness can pull us out of that. And I don't want to, maybe I should give a little disclaimer. I don't claim to know a lot about neurology or depression or any of that kind of thing, and I hope I didn't say anything that was out of line, but I do believe our attitudes have a lot of importance in certainly our mental health and possibly our physical health sometimes as well. So anyway, let's see, what else did I want to share quickly here today. So I was thinking so much about our positive outlook, and especially when we're Christians, focusing on God and what He's done for us. There's nothing really bad to look at, even when we face trials and stuff. We know the ultimate outcome. We know ultimately whatever happens here on this life, we have, if we're faithful, we have eternity with God to look forward to. So that makes anything, puts anything into perspective, even though we do endure true hardships. So anyway, this song was playing on my Pandora, and I'm just gonna turn it on for a little bit for you guys. It's Fernando Ortega, and seriously, I just love this guy's music. And so he's talking about Psalms 19:18, where it says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing to you. And I was thinking about how our thoughts are so important. I mean, seriously, this guy just makes the most soothing, beautiful music. I have no idea how the sound is playing to you guys, or if this is like a copyright law violation or something. But I was thinking, how do you do that? How do my thoughts and my words be pleasing to God all the time? We're all human. We all think negative thoughts. We all struggle with this, I'm sure. Probably some of you to a lesser degree than I do. But how do you make your words and your meditations pleasing to God? And I feel like the next line answers that. The next line says, "O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer." So my strength, God will give us the strength to do anything that feels too hard for us as humans. And we have to rely on His strength, not our own, or we will fail miserably every time. And then, so it says, "O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer." And so Redeemer gives me the picture of, I fail miserably over and over, but He is my Redeemer. So even when I do fail, He forgives and tells us to try again. As long as we always keep trying again and relying on Him, we will always be growing and doing better. So I've just been really loving that song right now. Just a little side note, we had singing school at our church the other weekend, and it was 3 services and I missed 2 of them, but he did talk about how the importance of good worshipful music, and I don't even understand a lot about music. Some of it was over my head, honestly, but I do just really love listening to old hymns. I went through a very hard period in my life where every day was survival mode for a while, and other songs can help you feel how depressed you are, and they can help you feel how sad you are, but when you listen to hymns, they put your focus on God and that He's in control, and it just uplifts your mood, and it gets you through the hard times. And the guy that was teaching in our music school said about how, I forget what was the hymn. Oh, I think it was Horatio G. Spafford's "When Peace Like a River." It goes, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." And Horatio G. Spafford wrote that song when he was on a ship riding past the approximate location where his wife had been in a shipwreck with their children, and I believe all their children died. I could be wrong on that. His wife and all his children. And he wrote those words while he was sailing on the ocean past that spot. So, and the story the preacher said was that, maybe I have my facts wrong, I'm questioning it now, but I'm thinking there was a man in a concentration camp, and he was in line for I guess when someone escaped and they did roll call the next morning, they would line up 10 men or 10 people and shoot them execution style. Or wait, oh shoot, I think I have this wrong. or no, they would put them, I know what I said wrong, I'm sorry. They would put them in a like death cell, and they wouldn't feed them or anything until they died. And this man, so this happened, and there was a man that was called that another man nearby knew that if he was killed, he had a wife and children at home that were, I guess, he would probably have a good chance of being reunited with them. And so this man was a preacher and heard it, and he stepped forward for that man when the name was called because he was single, and he felt it was better for him to die. So those next few days in this death cell, they heard singing coming from that cell, and that guy was... So anyway, to try to make a long story shorter, all 9 of the guys he was in the cell with became Christians before they died in that death cell or whatever they called them. So he was just pointing out that the old hymns have something some of the new ones don't, and certainly something that secular music doesn't have, that during really hard times they point you to the Lord and bring you through really hard times. So I just wanted to insert that there. A little plug for listening to old hymns and that type of thing. And I just love soft, soothing music. My husband, on the other hand, likes very upbeat music. So anyway, also on the end of that song by Fernando Ortega, he quotes Philippians 4:8, and that says, whatever is true, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is worthy, think on these things. And that goes back to the whole what you think is who you are, and that's also a verse from a Bible, something like that. As a man thinks, so he is. So that your thoughts are so powerful and what you focus on, and this is a good reason to be careful what you watch on TV or the things you allow your kids to watch, or the music you allow yourself to listen to, just all that stuff, the books you read, because they may not be wrong in themselves, and maybe they are wrong, or it's easy to overlook, like, oh, that movie's R-rated because of this one scene or whatever, but you're putting those things into your brain. So anyway, that was what I've been thinking on from last week, and also I wanted to quick talk about journaling. Journaling is one of the things I decided to do this year. In addition to my other goals, I don't think I talked about it much. My husband actually suggested it. There was a certain political man, and I'm not going to try to quote the facts because I'm sure to have them wrong, who was on trial for something he was accused of that he did not do. And they were able to prove it by him having kept a journal and his wife having kept a journal, and they both had entries in for the times he was accused of doing something, and they matched, and they proved him innocent. And that kind of resonated with my husband, and he thought that was pretty neat. And just the whole idea of being able to look back and see where you came from and where you're going and that type of thing. I've tried it on and off over the years, different times. My mom got this journal. She actually got it for Matt when I told her that he wants to journal, and he decided it was a little too shiny for him. So he swapped with me, and he got one that's a leather cover. So he feels a little more manly journaling with a leather journal. So a couple quick inspirations for journaling. I heard somebody say the other day that she keeps a journal with her in her purse, because then when she gets ideas or something she wants to remember, she just can jot it down right away. And she said that ideas last for 30 seconds if they're not written down. And this lady's a millionaire, so she must know what she's talking about. She's successful. So ideas last for 30 seconds unless they're written down. So that's a good reason to keep something around. When you get an aha moment, jot it down. And another reason is, and she said this as well, that you should write down your prayers, because you need to know how to go back and how to be thankful and pray your gratitude back to God. You need to know what you have to be thankful for. And this also ties in with the positive thinking. When you keep track of how God answered your prayers in the past, it gives you more confidence that He's going to answer them in the future, that He knows them, and it just shows you how He's been faithful all along. So I thought that was inspiring and a good reason to keep journaling. And like everything else, I have not been 100% with this. I had big goals at the beginning to write every day, and there's periods that 2 weeks went by that I didn't write anything in, but then I tried to kind of quick catch up, like bigger things or memorable things that happened the last couple weeks. I tried to write them down. So that's pretty much all I have. I just wanted to show you guys this quick. My mom got me this for Christmas, all us ladies. It's called Daughters of Promise. It's a nice thick magazine. It's like a nice stiff bound magazine. I think it comes quarterly. It is, I just got this. This is the first issue I got this year. And the title of this one is Wonder. And I just read like a couple of the first pages, and it talks about how children have such wonder. Everything is so amazing to them, and they're not stressed. They're not worried about the future. They're just full of wonder. Send them outside, and everything is just kind of amazing to them, and they're so carefree. And she talks about how it takes, as an adult, that doesn't come naturally, and it takes effort to notice those things and think on those things. And I'll just quick flip through it a little bit so you can see. This is a really pretty magazine. I'm excited about reading the rest. It has very interesting looking articles in it. So that's all I have for today. I'm sorry that I kind of stumbled through this one pretty bad. If you guys want me to talk about anything in particular, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep sharing what I'm learning through my goals I set for this year. And the end of this month, we're 1 quarter into the year, which is scary to me because I feel like I'm still trying to get my year started. So I'm going to try to give you an update on how everything is going. Not that you're probably that interested in it, but because I need the accountability. And I'm honestly a little scared to give you an update on all 7 categories, but I think I'm going to try to do that quickly at the end of the first quarter sometime next week, in the next week or two. So have a good day, guys. See you next time.